It is Lord Haywire. I am working on my 2D 4X game today. Um, I was just saying to myself that I think this is going to be a complete and total clusterfuck. What we're going to try to do today is to get the AI to build one building each. Let's hit play first, and then we'll be done with this section, and we'll move to the next section. But I think that it's like I said. It's whoops. We don't want to maximize. So this should have generated a game object, yeah, for each faction. And then on here, oh, we haven't attached it yet. Oh, we did. No, this is just a list, and it has a list of each county that they own. That's what we did last time, and now we're in pretty unknown territory for me. Money isn't used yet, is why there's none there. This is gonna be rough. So what it's talking about here is as the player. Oh, look at how close that color is. I wonder, is this the same color? Let's look. It's not supposed to be. If it is, that's a bug. 6-4. Well, I'll just take a screenshot of it. Screenshots are my friend here. Let's go to this other one. I think I've tested this a million times, but that looks pretty similar, but it's not the same. I think I have a list somewhere, I know I have a list somewhere of colors that it picks from. Anyways, so the player starts out with 2 right now just for testing, and it's supposed to, what were we talking about? I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, and so each faction, faction 5 here. Which county do you have? Umatilla is the county, which I think is this one. No, that's Harney. Umatilla is this one. So this is like faction 5's. Who's faction? What faction are you? Harney. I'm gonna guess that you. Oh yeah. So I did this in order. So it goes down like this, then it goes to the next row, and this is this one because it's below this one, and this is the last county. We're just working with Oregon and a little part of Washington right now. Eventually we'll expand that. So what we want to do currently, the player. Well, I guess I should. Currently the player can make buildings in the AI. There is really no AI at this point. We can build buildings. We can build like a Fisher Shack or whatever. We can put 5 people on it. And then it will be building. It should say that it should say that it's being built, but so that's a different thing. But we already have that on our list of things to fix. I'm curious now all of a sudden. And see, it has a loop back to the same faction it owns. That's kind of lame. I'm surprised it hasn't given us any errors about that. Probably because they're not serialized. So this doesn't have a list of the buildings that's being built in here. I thought we had a list, but maybe that's by faction or something. We have a research items there. So this is going to be a clusterfuck until we figure it out. The other thing with this is I watched someone in the chat said I should check out this. It's called the strategy pattern. My fucking memory, man. The strategy pattern. And so I watched some videos on that, and basically from what they talk about ducks a lot. Basically from what I understand is you decouple as much as you can from a centralized. It actually doesn't even need to be centralized. So, and I think this might apply to like our factions or our counties or whatnot. So you decouple things so that they can be moved around at runtime. And that actually makes a lot of sense for this particular faction thing. So I want to have personalities for the factions, right? So, one faction might be a builder faction and they build a lot. One faction might be like an aggressive faction or whatever. So they're going to be they're going to attack more. Some might be a diplomatic faction, and they'll be randomly assigned at the beginning of the game. So you don't know, and you won't know. The player won't know what these are next to them. They'll be able to like look and see guys building a lot. Oh, he's probably the builder guy. But I was just thinking right before I started streaming that it would be cool if you're being ultra hostile, they could switch from the builder personality to the aggressive personality, or to like a defensive personality or whatever. That would make life a lot easier. And I think the strategy pattern kind of, because at runtime we can change that. It's not hard coded in who these fucking guys are, and I think that that's a good idea. Now, how to do that, I have no fucking clue. So I think I understand the basics of the strategy pattern and the observer pattern. Those are two different things. It says strategy pattern, and it's not talking about strategy games. It's talking about like that's what it's whatever. There's all these different patterns, and that's the only two I know of. Know anything about, but. I think that will apply to this case, but like I said, I don't have any idea how to do it. So we might ask ChatGPT what it says, and it might give us a bunch of gibberish, or it might give us like steps to fulfill what we're going to try to do. So we want to make this as simple as possible for this round, though. I was thinking about that. Like I was like, oh, we could have it do this. We could have it do this. We could have it do this. Let's make it as extremely simple. Let's have it go extremely, like literally as extremely as simple as it can. We also have this thing here, and I moved armies way down to the bottom, and it dawned on me, we definitely need to have them differentiated between armies and heroes. They have to be differentiated. So we're just gonna, not today, but I'm gonna move it to the top of the list, and we're just gonna have them spawn in the same place, so that we can just have them, but they will be differentiated between an army and a hero. For like diplomacy and stuff, if you're building a bunch of armies, the AI needs to know that, and that's why it needs to be differentiated between heroes and armies. So we'll deal with that later, though. But I wanted to move that up on the list. So let's think about this. So this is our current thing. Our faction AI script is just this thing so far. So let's do this as simply as possible. At first, I was like, well, we could do some enums and have like the different types, but let's not even do that. Let's not even do types at all. Let's just get it to build something. So we're going to be doing a couple of different things here. First off, it has to be triggered at a certain time. We might need that. We're going to definitely need the Timekeeper, and I think we have an event that fires. Oh, maybe we don't. I thought we had an event that happens. Day start, work date over. We do have an event. Okay, so when the hour gets to 0, the day starts. But if you look at this, so like in Crusader Kings 3 or 2, when you start the game, nothing is applied correctly. So this starts at right after the first day. So the first day, nothing would happen. None of the we could set this to 1. We could set a new one up that would be like AI something. Anyways, so currently nothing happens on the first day. It doesn't check anything on the first day. But we could have it set to 1. 1 a.m. it kicks off the AI's first thing. So you just have to wait. Like at 0 speed currently, 1 a.m. comes in like 2 seconds. Let me unpause it. Okay. 1 second. We don't need this thing. This is for some other testing. We can get rid of this temporarily. So maybe we should do that. I'm trying to think like how antsy do I get when a game starts and nothing actually kicks in. A day is kind of a long time currently. I'm not sure this is the amount of the speed at 0 is going to be. So they could actually march troops on the first day. So we'll have it start at 1 a.m. The AI will kick off at 1 a.m. So we'll just put another event in the Timekeeper. Maybe we should actually have a whole this thing's in the wrong spot. I put this at the top all the time. Now, maybe we should have, let's think about this, a whole other script that fires off these things so that we can have, because this is just supposed to keep time. It's not supposed to be controlling. I think we have another script called like work or something. Yeah, it's called work. What is it doing? It's subscribing to these events. So do we want to have that? Um huh. I think right now we'll put it, let's move this over here. We'll leave it in here. So every day, or we could have it the first day. This is just checking the first day things fire off at 1, and then every other day it happens at 0. That seems like such, I don't think this happens fast. I think it happens too fast. I was thinking maybe we could start the time at like a negative number. The first time we compile this, I have a feeling the order of operations, yeah, or whatever, it doesn't fire off. We'll leave that undone though. I think we should probably, well, let's do this first. Is equal to 1. And I try to do as much testing for everything at all times, like every baby step. I know it makes my programming really slow, but I've noticed if I don't, then okay. So that works. Obviously, that's like the simplest thing. So we could have I keep thinking about, I was playing a multiplayer game of CK3 with 2 of my friends, and right at the beginning we were like, what the fuck is going on? Everything's all fucked up, and we were like, okay, well, we just need to wait a little while. And the little while was, 3 minutes, which I know you're thinking 3 minutes isn't that much, but it felt like an eternity before everything like updated and fixed itself, because things were just fucked up. So maybe can we do this? If day, I think this is a capital. Do we have days in here? Oh, it's not a thing though. If it starts at a 0, what? Does it really start at a 0? Oh, it does start out at 0. That seems weird to me. Day 0, that's fine. Glad I noticed that. If day is equal to 0 and it doesn't know what day is, huh? Days is equal to 0. Let's double check this. We'll have it happen one time. And we'll have it like, that will be the one time, and that'll be the first test here. Let's make sure that this thing fires off. It did. It is 1 a.m. on the first day, on day 0. Okay, so we're gonna do another action here, and we'll do like let's actually put this up here. Public. I don't know why I always do that. It's because this desk is quite small. I have another computer that I use for gaming downstairs. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to uh, put Unity on that. Put Unity on that other one because you can see it right here in OBS. See how this is all tiny, and see how well you can see it in the other one too. Uh, this is all tiny. Unity fucks this computer hard every time I run it. So it'll work fine, and then everything gets all tiny like that and all fucked up from Unity. So this, we just want to invoke this, I believe. We just want to do exactly like this thing says. We'll do first run. Yep, exactly like that. And then we can subscribe to it from this AI faction thing, I believe. This is going to be on awake. No, we're going to want this on start, I think. And I already forgot how to subscribe to something. So we have some subscriptions here, though. So this will do the trick. Yeah, it's on start as well. Yeah, so I think when I should probably compile this sooner than later. But we're going to want to... Oh, we could do the random thing on this. So basically, we're subscribing to that action on the Timekeeper, and then we need it to do... First run sounds like a terrible, terrible name. We'll have to rename that when we figure out what we're doing here. So at 1 a.m., it's going to... The first thing, we'll just have it... We'll have it... What is it supposed to do? Build buildings. Actually, I don't think you put that there. And then we'll debug log this fucking thing too. Actually, AI. Yeah, this is gonna be so fucking hard for my skill level. But that's how I learn, is by doing things. You know, keep expanding each little step. I can see like a cat hair right here. I think I got it. It's like it's like waving and probably from me talking. Uh, all right. Well, that works. So the reason I did it 6 times is because there's 6 other factions with this script attached. At first, I was like, "What the fuck did we just do?" I also have this fear because we're gonna have like 500 factions at the beginning, and I'm not exaggerating. I like to exaggerate, use hyperbole, but this time I'm not. So we're gonna at the beginning you'll have 500 factions. They'll slowly get wiped out as time goes by. But I have a feeling that having that hit at the same time 500 times is gonna be an issue. But we'll deal with that later. What I was thinking we could do like is have the first like a batch run it, you know, 101 a.m., 102 a.m., 103 a.m., or something like that to try to space it out. So that's once again we're back to that same CK3 thing I was talking about, where it might be um, we need to be able to see the buildings as well. So we actually need to fix that first. So where we don't have the buildings attached. Where are these buildings attached? They're by county. Each county saves its buildings because it's different. Well, let's hit play and look. Each county should, but where are we saving that shit? I think it's just hidden away. You know, it's like just a. That's the population. We don't need to look at that. Not right now. Yeah, that's where it is. So this is a separate list for each county. It should be at least. Yeah, it is. So we need to be able to see that shit though, or we'll never be able to figure out. This is the thing too, where I don't know why I have this down here, but I didn't put it. County population is in there, and it's not like that because it's. I don't think it needs to be a new list. I don't think this needs to be down here. Should we just comment it out and see what happens? That's always. That's why. Let's just break this fucking thing. I don't think it needs to be down there though. It's my lack of knowledge about stuff and me doing things through tutorials. Yeah, now it's busted. Oh, because we're just adding it in. So what's the difference between this one? What's the difference between this and this one? What? Looking at the wrong thing. County population already exists. I've had this issue. Are we assigning it? We don't need this running in the background. Are we assigning this? Oh, it's a dictionary list. And this is the list in the dictionary. Well, since I don't understand how it works, we'll just put it back here. Yes. What do I got going here? But then why doesn't this one? We're assigning this to at some point. It's being generated. Yeah, we're assigning this at the end of here, like right here. But we're not adding to it. All right, all right. Well, it will become clear at some point. I'll have to deal with all these lists some more, and I will finally click in my brain. That's how it works. That's why I have a hard time doing like the basic tutorials for like C sharp because it doesn't click in my mind until I have to use it, and then I run into a problem and have to fix that problem, and then I go, oh, this all makes sense now. Um, okay, so what was I doing? Oh, we need to be able to see these things. So these, I bet you the issue is that these aren't serialized. No, they are. No, what? I'm on the wrong one. Yeah, that's the issue. Serializable. Possible buildings. We're gonna have a lot of fucking lists here, man. Current buildings. I didn't used to be so into be able to see everything in the inspector. But I've found that is invaluable. I don't know. I guess I was fine with guessing in debug logs, but I don't want to do that. I just want to be able to see the shit in the inspector and be like, what? Oh, this thing's broken. So let's see if that fixed this. That's probably, yeah. So possible buildings is 3, and we can look at the building. So once again, we're going to try to keep this as simple as possible. We're not going to put any of that shit I was talking about. What do we even have on this list? Yeah, we just have a basic thing. So how are we gonna how are we gonna well currently let's look at each faction is just typed into here. Where the fuck is it? Oh, I renamed it to scene load, which makes sense. We don't need this thing open. Faction 0 is the player faction. Oh, this no, we're still in faction 0. Faction 1, yeah, they don't have anything, which is fine. That will be well. Let's put faction 1. They're going to need influence. We'll give them 1,000 influence. Whoops. We'll give them 1,000 influence and we'll leave the others off. So what we'll do, we're keeping this simple here. Influence is like money in this game until money gets used more often. All right, so let's do this. If faction dot influence is greater than or equal to so let's decide how we're not going to get deep into the AI making choices. We just want it to work. I guess well, no. So the first thing we need to do is have it pick a building it wants to build, right? So there's scrap, food, money, and influence right now for resources. I want to have like a bazillion resources because one of the things I think about in a lot of 4X games in the modern era is that there's no reason for anyone to go to war besides just us, the player, being warmongers. But if we had resources that we wanted, that the person next to us had, and we wanted them, we need them, there would be more reason. So I think the first thing we should check for is food. And we'll just put in some arbitrary food limit in here. And we'll go to our globals, actually. Globals is just some thing that's I have that's going to hold like global settings that we can adjust. So in here we will do a public int minimum food, and then that we can just type in here. Oh, it's not gonna compile right now because we got some bugs. So let's jump back to here. So first thing it should check, and we could make a switch here. I'm always like, every time I've seen anything about switches though, people are like, they're really slow, don't use them. So we're gonna have all of the factions currently have 0 food. So we're just gonna say if, we'll just comment this out temporarily. If faction dot food is less than or equal to, no, that's greater than, less than globals dot instance dot minimum food, we'll want it to build the food, a farm. But then we want this thing, it has to check, we're going to have it checked, is it have enough influence, and we'll say greater than, I think, so that would leave it like with 1 influence. If you know what we also could do right here, well, let's keep it, I was thinking, well, we'll put it in here so I won't forget, and then we'll comment it out. Day start. So every day it will check this. But if is greater than or equal to, then we need to check, because it needs to go through every county actually. For each, no, just for, that's actually right. So it needs to go through every county, and it needs, well, which one should it do first? It should do its first one, which is 0. They only have 1 each. So is if the faction influence is greater than the county's faction dot, what is it, instant, no, this is a list, I Shut up. Possible buildings. Um, is possible buildings it's just a list. Current workers. So wait, is zero food? It would be nice if this was a dictionary list actually, because then we wouldn't. We or an enum would work too. It's just hard for the brain, to handle. I don't think food is the first one, honestly. Where am I going? We need to be. I can. This cat hair's back. I can see it. This shit's all hard coded into here. We're gonna turn this. We're gonna get it from disk eventually. It'll be like a JSON file or something. Gardener's shack. That's for research, though. Here we go. Gardener's shack's 3. Or 2, actually. It's the third building. See, that's going to be hard. That's going to fuck us long term, I have a feeling. That's going to be very easy to fuck up. This is just a plain old list. No, this is a dictionary. This is a dictionary list. See, like having this hard coded in like that as a number, that's going to be what happens if we add a building or something. If we add a building that's 2, all of a sudden when it's going to try to build the wrong building. We're going to have to figure out a better way to do this. I'm going to put a note in here. Oh, the other issue is it's going to try to build it itself. It's going to try to build it. Well, whatever. A less air prone way for the AI for a human to be able to. We need to find it to do this because knowing which building is which in the list is lame. I don't think is stupid as shit. There we go. Cost, influence cost, then well, actually, we need 2 things in here, and I think I started putting the and down here. See, we're gonna have to apply workers to it too, which isn't that big of a deal. But like I said, this is gonna be a clusterfuck. All right, so we're gonna have to make it check. It's gonna be under current buildings to. We didn't need it. We need to make is built. Fuck. There's 2 of them. It's false. And we'll put this and down here. Is being built. This should actually come before the other one. Equals false. So we wanted to check to make sure that it doesn't already have. We don't want this here. It doesn't already have the building. The building isn't already being built, and the building isn't already built. We wanted to check those things, even though right now it's it's going to check it every day. So let's just debug log this to garden shack should be able to be built. Then we're gonna need an else in here. We'll put the else right here, and we'll put a debug log. Whoops. Sure. Fuck. Not enough influence to build garden shack or some shit, because it could be some other problem. All right, so this should only happen once, and it should happen 6 times though. We should get the debug log 6 times right at the beginning, 1 minute in. It did not. Oh. That would be a problem. So this is the minimum amount of food before. If it's less than, so let's put in 100. If you have 100 food, how much food? Well, they all have 0 food. If the faction's food is less than the minimum food, this is like a minimum food AI check type thing. Then it should run that. It was currently, they were both zeros, so they were equaled. This is probably something to do with greater than or equal to the influence cost. It croaked here, huh? That's where it croaked? That was unexpected. Did not expect it to croak there. Oh, shit. We also need a thing where it needs to not check the player. We don't want the player one to be. Do we even have that in faction? Uh, uh, we don't even have that. There's a different. It doesn't differentiate between the player and an AI. How the fuck are we doing that? Did I put it in some weird spot? Is this one have it? I don't think it does. No, that's just some bullshit. Uh, Uh, so that should pop up a bunch of errors because we're no wait we aren't doing that in this one. This I have one that's different than all the others. This is just typed in here, so we should just be able to. No, not that one. And then that's not going to solve this problem. It's some. This is some other problem that I just thought of. Uh, I wonder if. Wait. Are we assigning this AI faction thing to every? We can just not assign this script. Oh, nice. That's nice. Well, it's still going. Yeah, it's getting assigned this script. So let's stop that right at the beginning. We'll ignore that for now. Um, the reason we're dynamically doing this is because we're going to do multiplayer at some point, 6 years from now, 170 years from now. I'll be long dead by then. 6 years from now, I could be dead. Who the fuck knows? I could be dead in 6 minutes. So where were we generating that stuff? We were generating that stuff. Where? What doesn't matter. Create faction game object. So this is one. Yeah, so this is it. And it's pulling from a prefab. Do we not need the player faction? No, we want the player faction in there. So we could have two different prefabs, one for the player and one for the. I wonder, do we want to do that? Or we could have one for the player and one for the other one, and the player, the faction, it would just have its faction information. Where is that? Well, we won't be able to. Huh. Let's do this. Let's have it. Let's have it not generate the player one for now. We're gonna do that right. Well, look at this big gap. I guess it's only one line. We'll do it right here. Dot is player is equal to false. We'll do this. This is why we're doing this in baby steps. Besides the fact that I have to learn everything as we go, I have to struggle for each step. I need to struggle to learn. All right, so that worked how we wanted it. Just trying to think, can we see this information somewhere else? We can. So that's good for now. We should probably rename this then to AI factions just for whatever, to be consistent. So back to what we were doing. It doesn't like this. Let's look at our list and see what the fucking problem is. Okay, so for the first one, oh, is this one of those things where, no. Let's see. Can't tell if that's a capital. Let's look at our possible buildings here. I'm just going through each thing here. There is no. I was thinking maybe this was a getter setter, so there should be a capital. Huh. Possible buildings. I'm missing something simple, probably. You got to get the same bug 900,000 times before it, locks into my brain. Let's go back. Maybe we're doing the wrong. Counties, factions owned. Counties, factions owned. 1. So we're on. So we got to the first one of these, which is the first one of these fires off. It goes to the count, so it's checking 0, which is this is element 0. I don't think we ever use county ID. I might get rid of that. And it's checking possible buildings. In the county, it's a county thing, so let's double check. We have this weird shit down here. This is maybe this is the problem that I was talking about. But it sees this. This is public. What happens if we put like just 0 in here, just to see what happens? Oh, it's not this that's the problem. It's the next line. This wouldn't be 2. This would be 0 if it was built. All right, so let's comment out this. I think it's this that's the problem. Oh, that hair is still there. Yeah, the current buildings it wouldn't be 2 because it's gets added over to there if it's being built. Yeah. Yeah. So this is going to build that. That's going to build that. So how are we going to check? We need to go through though. See, I knew this was going to be a clusterfuck. So we need to go through all of its current buildings and see if it's already built first. Well, let's do this first, actually. Let's make it build something first. Uh, no, that's going to be so difficult. Yeah, see, this already caused a bug, just me typing this shit in here. So we need another for loop actually inside this for loop. No, we don't. We need it to go through. We do. Actually, let's have it try to build the thing first. So we're only gonna have one that will has enough of influence. So it will be here. Man, this is gonna be difficult. I knew it was gonna be hard. My other game's so much simpler. On my other game, I'm to the setting up special effects for the or special abilities for the demons, and then I have inventory, and then that's pretty much it for the game to actually be playable. It's playable now, but it's terrible. Uh, oh, experience too. I need to add on the other one, but that doesn't matter. All right. So after it says, "Hey, there's enough. You have enough influence," it needs to build the thing. Did I hard code in the cost? I think I did. So how did we move? How did we do that before? I'm trying to think. So this actually isn't going to be that terrible. We would. This is actually isn't going to be that bad. We're going to do counties. I think we can just put this puppy in here. I can't remember. Oh no, we just need. Wait. No, we don't. Is this? This has to be possible buildings. I dot possible buildings remove possible. Whoa. Two. All right, let's think about this. So we're gonna remove We actually need to add it to the other one first, though. Uh, so we're gonna be in, county 0, and it's gonna remove this from the list, but we need to add it to. Current building. Jesus Christ. Add. Oh, we didn't make them the same. We made them different just to make our lives fucking difficult. And we were manually assigning across the stuff. At this point, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have. I would have just made a buildings thing. In fact, maybe we should fix that just to make life easier. We can have, we can have a list of possible buildings. We can have a list of or current buildings, and they can just be the same public class. I think I was trying to get. I always have this fear about having too many lists. Too many lists with. Oh, I bet you there's a way to. I was about to say, can I compare this shit besides just sitting? And I bet you there is a way to do this. I don't know how. Want to compare. I was in some Discord where they were talking about that the new Grand Tacticians DLC, which is an absolute piece of shit. Uh, and someone said just use Visual Studio and compare the two files, and that's where I was like, wait, huh? File different. So this is an extension, huh? Well, we'll just use our eyeballs. It's not the best move, but we can just put this next to it. Where the fuck did that thing go? Current buildings. Wow, current buildings has a lot more stuff going on. Oh, look, and I have max workers on one side and max employees on the other side. But like the influence cost is gone, the work cost is still there. So possible buildings is significantly smaller. I wonder if I should just. So I remember breaking these things apart. Oh, they have game objects too. I don't think that matters. Name, description. It sure would make life easier just to assign that over. It's gonna break a shit ton of stuff. It's Let's just combine them. Who gives a shit? Look at this. What is this thing? Oh. Can I just copy this over? All right, that's gonna break everything. I like completed text object. I'm trying to think. Does it even matter? Like with this level of, I mean, there's gonna be 500 of them, but it's gonna make life so much easier currently. Because we could just assign that building over. The game object would change, I think. Is that how we're, do we have a, I think we have two different prefabs. Yeah, we have a possible building, but that's not that big of a deal. It's all these like, this is why I'm doing in these like little loops. There's all these little things that I run into that I don't like have a, I'm very indecisive, it turns out. I didn't know I was so indecisive. Oh, and hours pass. So, this is a good time to go out, for me to go out and have a smoke and think about my life and decide if I've made any mistakes in it. I'll be right back. Give me less